When you're deciding whether to bring a lawsuit on your behalf as a result of improper medical care and treatment, can you go to two different attorneys to have your case investigated at the same exact time to see which attorney gives you a better interpretation and a better overview and a better analysis of your particular case? You want to know the answer? Come join me on a walk through the neighborhood as I share with you the answer to that question. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney. The answer is no, you can't, and you shouldn't. Now, many times people think, okay, I'm going to go to one attorney, have him go ahead and start to investigate my case. Then I'm going to go to a second and even a third attorney to get a second opinion and a third opinion. So while each one is doing their own investigation, I'm going to ultimately choose the best lawyer based upon their evaluation. Now, also, you say, I'm not going to tell each attorney that I have other lawyers looking at the case and are getting the same exact records and are doing their own evaluation. That is a bad idea. Now, why is that a bad idea? In order to do a full and detailed investigation about your potential medical malpractice case, your attorney must obtain all of the necessary and relevant medical records going back for years. And it's a very detailed, lengthy process. We have to get permission slips from you in order to allow us to go ahead and get all of your medical records. Now, we have to obtain those records. We have to pay for those records. Then we have to begin reviewing each and every document, each and every page of those records to familiarize ourselves with exactly what's contained in each of those records. It might even include imaging tests like CT scans, MRI scans, sonograms. All of that information has to be obtained. Then, we have to go ahead and gather those records and send them out to various medical experts who now have to spend endless amounts of hours and time reviewing those records to evaluate whether the doctors violated the basic standards of medical care, whether that carelessness was a cause of your injury, and whether your injuries are significant and or permanent. Only if a medical expert has confirmed each of those things are we permitted by law to go forward and start a case on your behalf. So now imagine for a moment that the first attorney you go to spends 6 months to a year gathering all your records, having experts review those records, and now comes to the conclusion that yes, you do have a valid case. And they go ahead and prepare the documents necessary to start your case. But before they do that, you tell them, hold on a second, I have another attorney who's doing the same exact evaluation. And your attorney number one says, what are you talking about? You came to me, you hired me to go ahead and evaluate your case. Now you're telling me that you have a second lawyer doing the same exact thing? Now the second lawyer has duplicated my efforts to go ahead and obtain all of your records. He's now had to pay out of his pocket all this money to have your records obtained. And now he's got to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to different experts to have those records reviewed, just like we have done. And then you're telling me that you also went to a third attorney who you didn't tell was having a first or second attorney evaluate your case? This is outrageous. This is ridiculous. This is a waste of time for everybody involved. And you turn around and you say, listen, I want to be an educated consumer. I want to get different opinions from different attorneys who've reviewed my records, and now I will then decide which attorney I want to go to. And if that were me, if I was attorney number one and I'd learned that information, you know what I would say? I would say, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I'm going to give you back all your records. You're welcome to take them to whatever attorney you want, but you are no longer a potential client for me, and I wish you the best of luck. That's what I would say. Some attorneys may feel differently. It is not a good idea to go ahead and have multiple attorneys evaluate your case at the same exact time. Why? Because they are doing redundant things, which means that they are having them repeat the same efforts over and over again. And now you have failed to disclose to each attorney that you have multiple other attorneys evaluating your case at the same exact time. I can pretty much guarantee that when each attorney finds out that there are other lawyers duplicating their efforts and now trying to obtain the same exact records and have those records reviewed by qualified medical experts, that the attorney will be extremely upset. Number one, for the client, you, not telling them that they were having other attorneys evaluate the case at the same exact time, and not being honest with the attorney, and not telling him what you were doing. And because of that, in all likelihood, the attorney is going to say, I'm sorry, I can't help you. And in all likelihood, the attorney who now learns that you've had other lawyers at the same exact time evaluating the same exact records, obtaining the records, having them evaluated by different medical experts. Now, you are expecting and you are hoping that one attorney gives you a better analysis than another. You are hoping that attorney number one tells you your case is worth $10 million. And you are hoping that attorney number two says, no, your case is worth $20 million. And you're hoping upon hope that attorney number three says your case is worth $30 million. And you think that whichever attorney gives you the best evaluation, you're now going to go with him and discard all the others. Well, that's not how it works. In New York, if you find the best attorney you can to evaluate your records, now, the best thing you can do is to allow the attorney to go ahead, obtain all those records, have them evaluated by different experts, and then come back to you with the experts' conclusions. It is unlikely that any attorney is going to tell you what the value of your case is at the very beginning of your case. Why? Because it's impossible. It is absolutely impossible. At the very beginning of your case, before you've started your lawsuit, it is virtually impossible for any attorney to tell you what the true value of your injuries are, to tell you what the true value of your case is. No one can predict, no one has a crystal ball, and despite the fact that the attorney might be the best attorney in the world, they might have gotten phenomenal results through settlements and verdicts in the past, there is no possible way for an attorney to tell you what your particular case is worth at that moment in time. And if an attorney does, you might want to take it with a grain of salt, because honestly, there is no possible way that an attorney can accurately portray and give you a full detailed analysis of what they believe your value is at that time. It's just not possible. And if now you are going to make a choice about which attorney to use based upon which lawyer tells you what the value of your case is at the very beginning, you are deceiving yourself into thinking that that's ultimately what you are going to receive. And not to burst your bubble, but even if you have the best case in the world with the most significant damages, if your case goes to trial, a jury could come back and give you nothing. A jury could come back and throw your case out, claiming that the doctors you have sued did not violate the basic standards of medical care. Or they may find that the doctors did violate the standard of care. However, that did not cause or contribute to your injuries. Or they may find that, yes, the doctors who treated you were careless and violated the standard of care, and that carelessness caused you injury, but guess what? Your injuries really are not as bad as you claim them to be. So all of those things can actually occur if you take your case all the way to trial. So don't think for a second that just because one attorney has told you you have a great, fantastic case, and you have chosen to go with him over any other attorney because he is now overinflated, or he has inflated, or he has exaggerated, and tells you your case is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Guess what? 3 years down the road, now when your case goes to trial and a jury comes back with a verdict, I don't want you to be disappointed when you don't get the precise result that you were told you would get at the very beginning of your case. So why do I share this quick information with you? I share it with you just to open your eyes, to help you understand how these types of cases work in the state of New York. You know, I recognize you're likely watching this because you have questions or concerns about your own matter. Well, if your matter did happen in New York and you are thinking about bringing a lawsuit, but haven't done so yet because you still have questions that need to be answered, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. You know, I answer questions like yours every single day, and I'd love to chat with you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at Oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.